Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Absolute Radio.
Hello, it's the podcast of the Frank Skinner Absolute Radio show. And I think that's what it's called. And I'm here with Emily and Gareth. And hello, yes.
Hello.
And hello to you all. And thanks for, what do? You download, do you? That's what you do, yeah. It's a computer thing, isn't it? Mm. Yes, so thanks. And as usual, we've done the show, and then we come into a small adjoining studio and talk about what you're going to listen to, but without giving anything away. So there's no need for a spoiler warning or anything of that nature. I'm looking at you, Gareth, from here. Your head looks narrower than normal.
Yes, I've had a haircut.
Oh, that'll be it.
I did have longer hair.
I thought I got it stuck between the doors of a lift. But no, it's just shorter.
Where did you go to have it cut?
I made a mistake again. There's there's a really nice little barber's I go to in Camden.
That's in London.
That's in London. Yeah. I should always make sure I go there, but I tried out somewhere else in Bournemouth, and they're just rubbish.
Oh dear.
And
I wouldn't say rubbish.
Mistake. No, have a look at this. I know this isn't great radio, but I'm taking my glasses off, and look at what he's done to my sideburn.
Oh, it does look a bit Smike from Nicholas Nickleby.
It's like...
If anyone's familiar with that character.
I think Gareth's a bit Smike, generally.
I think you should have to ask for something like that, what he's done there.
Well, if we describe it to the listeners, they're sort of like... Well, how would you describe it, Frank?
Well, it looks a bit... You know those bottle openers that you can get? And they've got like a little V that you get on the edge of the cap. He's sort of taken a little inlet into your sideburn.
Yeah, like it's shaped...
It's not accidental, because it's on both sides.
No, he's done it on purpose.
Yeah.
But I don't think, I think you should ask. And also...
There is something...
Now you've got a Nike sign carved into the back of your hair.
What? Oh, my goodness.
There is something of the punishment about the haircut.
Yeah, it's like a very specific... And he said something terribly insensitive.
What did he say?
Right, I had quite long hair when I went in there and sort of swept over like quite a long fringe, and I said, I'd like it a bit shorter. I'd like it short at the sides, at the back, and then a bit longer at the front. And he said, what, to cover up what's going on under there?
What is going on under there? Some ecosystem?
In a very distinguished, manly way, I'm receding very slightly.
He brought that up.
And he mentioned that's out of order, isn't it?
But I like that you go into a barber and he says, "How would you like your hair?" And you said a bit shorter.
What are we supposed to say?
Well, what are you going to say? Actually, I'd like it a little bit longer on the sides. Can you sort that? Obviously, Emily's looking at me saying she does that most weeks. Yeah, so it looks all right, though.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's...
And I would never have noticed the baldness if you hadn't brought it up. Now you've brought it up, of course. You look to me, you look like a light bulb with a little bit of hair stuck on the top. But hey, we can't sit here. Well, we can, but let's not. So this is the podcast. The guest is Pajama Men.
Oh, I loved the
Yes,
Pajama
I know
Men.
you did. You were far enough up there,
Emily got
Pajama
on really
Men.
well with the Pajama Men. She likes men in their pyjamas.
Yeah, she does.
I do.
We did. They were very funny, and I personally enjoyed the show very much.
Loved it.
Yes, and I hope you do too.
Absolute Radio.
Hey, Saturday morning.
Yes, indeed, it is Saturday morning. I like the fact that it's cold outside. I feel all snuggly. You know what I'm saying?
Do you? Oh, I don't like it.
We're all
It's too
cuddled
cold.
together. We're sort of all wrapped up in each other around one microphone, like the Beatles' backing vocals. Like, when they were the biggest band in the world, they could only afford 2 mics. A pod. Yes, a pod. That's a word.
But
Don't look at me like that.
you're wearing an autumn sports jacket. You're
Yes,
not really
I am.
dressed for the cold.
I am. I think one can dress so sort of puts you in a frame of mind, and I don't like to let my my autumnals go until it gets properly cold. 20 below in Scotland. That's not enough for me. So we sat around looking at the newspapers before the show, as we so often do, looking for inspiration in many ways. And it's Jonathan Ross this, Jonathan Ross that.
It is.
Yeah, I feel a bit... they're already talking about who's going to take over the shows. He's got 6 months left. It's like, when you're in a restaurant and you just start that moment when you just start to move off from your coffee and there's people standing over you, strangers, waiting for the seats. It's like that.
Well, I think he's irreplaceable.
Well, you're a big mate of his, of course. You must have the inside
Yes,
story.
I know the stars. He is...
Emily and Jonathan Ross, they're like 2 peas in a pod.
No, he is a friend of mine, but I didn't know he was leaving the BBC.
He didn't tell you?
Until, well, I found out from my carpet fitter. Because I was having carpet put down in my flat, and when I told you I was having the carpet fitted around, you said at least something's getting laid in your flat.
Yes, but it was a joke. It was a joke I didn't think I'd ever do on air, but now I've done it sort of by proxy.
But the carpet fitter said he saw a picture of me and Jonathan in my flat, and he said, "Oh, he's leaving the BBC," and I went, "What?" So that's how I found out.
He never told you. I'm starting to think you don't know him at all. Picture of you cut out and stuck on a picture of his wife's. Oh, it's pathetic.
I'm very sad he's going, though, and I think he'll be much missed.
Oh, God. He hasn't died. No, I don't think he's died. I missed that bit. No. I'm sure he'll be fine. He's got plenty of money to keep him going.
Oh, yeah.
I also think he might get another job quite quickly.
I think so.
Yes. I noticed on all the long lists of people who could take over his various jobs, no mention of Frank Skinner. That's all I'm saying. Not a mention. The forgotten man. That's who I am. Apart from the 8 people who listen to this show, I might as well be banging my head repeatedly against a slightly ragged brick wall until blood splatters all over my summer wear. Anyway, good morning. I'm a bit worried about our new competition. Christian O'Connell, you may know, is running this thing where he'll be paying your bills. If you win the competition, he'll pay your bills. What I'm worried about is what if Gordon Brown wins the competition? That'll close down Absolute. Isn't it bad enough we got threadbare carpet on the stairs here? God, well, we'll be out. Every time I walk up the stairs past that carpet, I think, is my job safe?
And the stench in the corridor.
The stench in the corridor, I don't know what that... I think they say Neil Francis can't come in. I think he might have died in a cupboard. There's a terrible smell in the corridor.
We call it the absolute stench.
Yeah, what is that?
Fact fans, that's what we call it, because it stinks when we come in, doesn't it? What is it?
Well, I'll tell you, I've been in here in the week. Yes! And when it's lovely and everyone's milling around and all the proper staff are here, and they say, "Hi, Frank," and I say, "Hi," it's smashing. Not like the cold, bleak Saturday mornings when we come in, there's no one around except Adrian Hyatt just sitting there, drunk, let's face it. I can see him in the other room now going, "How dare you!" But there's never any smell then when all the staff's in. When we come in, I think we'll do the sewers Saturday morning. But, you don't care about that. I imagine that, wherever you work smells all the time. So why should you feel sorry? That might not necessarily be true, of course.
Absolute Radio.
By the way, darling, I mentioned that I am Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio, and I'm here with Emily and Gareth. I forgot to introduce you two.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. There's something wrong with this, Mike. Anyway. Yeah, so Celebrity Big Brother I've been watching. What about that?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I made a bit of a discovery. I thought I'd have a Google of the guests, because some of the guests I'm not au fait with. So I had a bit of a Google, right? Turns out Heidi Fleiss, right, she died in 2004.
Really?
Now, obviously, the producers aren't aware of that. And, she's still knocking about. But, the signs are there. She looks like a cadaver. But, so that was a bit of a shocker.
I like Stephanie Beacham.
You are Stephanie Beacham.
Do you know I think I am, in a way?
Yes, we all are.
I love that she bathes in a negligee and
She
shades.
barks, I thought you were going to say. I've heard that she barks. You're right, Stephanie. Yeah, okay.
She describes sleeping in polyester sheets as arduous. Oh, I love her.
Yes. I'm a bit disappointed in, if I may call it, and I don't wish to get squalid on a Saturday morning, but the babe count is low. Because there's a lot of quite honky men. Although Alex Reid, the cage fighter, seems to have a pot belly halfway up his belly. He has a pot belly that starts just under his rib cage and then goes away, like he has some terrible hernia, sort of, that split its way through his inner stomach lining.
Oh, he's horrible.
Yeah,
horrible
he has a small
Marmite
shelf.
fake tan as well.
He could stand in a pub and he could actually put a pint on that terrible muscle shelf he's got on his stomach. It's really weird. I don't know how he's developed that. And also he's too tanned.
He is too tanned.
I hate that. I quite like the Bass Hunter, man.
Oh, yes, Jonas.
Or the Bass Hunter.
He seems lovely.
Yes.
Bass Hunter, I like him.
Yes, although he apparently has got a girlfriend who sits at home sobbing every night as he cavorts with that Russian woman who's got a London accent.
She said watching them kiss was like having her heart stabbed 50 times.
Yes.
50, that's very specific, isn't it?
Yeah, I found watching them kiss was like having my heart stabbed about 4 times.
Yeah.
But we're all different.
Yeah. But I think sort of what happens...
Watching anyone kiss, I find distressing. I was once standing at a bus stop and a young couple started kissing next to me. And to the point where they were so wrapped in a snog, I realised they were leaning on me.
Oh,
and had I have moved, they would have just fallen on the floor. I thought, if my boss comes here, I'm going to have a moral dilemma.
It's an inadvertent threesome.
Yeah, exactly. It was nothing to do with me. They were growing on me like moss.
The polite thing to do would have been to just join in.
Well, there was no room. I mean, she was virtually enveloped in his lips. You know, it was. I could hear that. I could not only hear the external noises. I could hear the things moving about inside their mouths. I was so close. Yeah. Well, imagine how I felt. Imagine my consternation.
You do travel.
Hold on. Can you just have a pause while we imagine my consternation?
I don't think I want to.
And relax. Okay. Sorry, Gareth.
No, it's fine.
Oh, don't sulk.
Oh, don't sulk.
You sulk on me.
Do you know, whenever Gareth says, no, it's fine, it's like a girl saying it's fine in a relationship.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, no, it's fine. You carry on and do your jokes. Come on, Gareth.
I'm still imagining your consternation.
Well, I can see yours from here. Don't have to imagine it. Oh, God, it's started up. I'm just going to have to put some adverts on why I go over and hog Gareth. That's how I have to live. I mean, it's like being some sort of care worker. Not that that's a bad thing to be, if there's any listening.
You'll be go!
Don't look at me like that.
You just counted down like 12, 7. I'm glad you don't work for NASA. You're not very good at countdowns.
I work for NASA Hussein as a houseboy. Yeah, he's very demanding. Can I just say that? If you don't know who NASA Hussein is, Google him! See, that feels like a thing that the Hunchback of Notre Dame should have called down to people. It's something, and send the Duke of Cormandy to me, and they all look surprised, all the villagers, and he goes, Google him! Oh, that would have been a great scene in the Hunchback of Notre Dame. If there's any Hunchbacks listening, no disrespect to you.
How do you spell Nasser? I'm Googling him, but I haven't got...
What, Nasser Hussein? Nasser.
Oh, this is entertaining.
Why are you Googling that? Oh, you're Googling to see who he is.
Okay,
well, fair enough. I mean, it was supposed to be a sort of rhetorical thing.
Cricketer. Is he a cricketer?
Yes.
Why don't you read out the Wikipedia entry?
Yeah, exactly. For God's sake, this sulk.
Sulk.
Can I say that Gareth
giant sulk.
Gareth's sulking so much that his manager has had to rush into the studio.
Yeah.
She has honestly arrived, Gareth.
Sort out the sulk. And we've even had a text in Frank on 81215 about the sulk.
Oh, really?
From Ian Blair, who I believe used to be the police commissioner. But anyway, that's another story.
That's how big the sulk is. The manager, the police have been called in. Oh, my God, we're on
Ian
red
Blair.
alert. We'll have to grit the whole studio.
Ian Blair, who may or may not be the former police commissioner, has said, stop sulking, Gareth. So there you go.
Yes.
I'm the incredible sulk. You wouldn't like me when I'm sulking.
I've got my clarinet up. So, speaking of music, which we probably will on the show at various times, it being a music station, on the Big Brother thing, they tortured the bass hunter, and you know when I say the bass hunter. Oh, God, it's all right, I can't. Worth waiting for, I think you'll all agree. The thing about that is...
This is the music from The Deer Hunter, for those people who don't get that reference.
But,
you can't Google music, can you?
I think there's a section called Google Music.
Right.
Silly. Yeah, what I like about that, because I couldn't find the switch for the Deer Hunt, I think people at home are already going, duh, in a slightly resigned and upset way. I'm sorry to that. Anyway, so what they did, they put the bass hunter in a room with Lady Sovereign. If you don't watch the show, don't worry, because you don't need to know who the people are.
It's not called the bass hunter, it's like the deer hunter. He's just called bass hunter.
What was that last phrase you used?
Deer hunter.
So they put him in a room with Lady Sovereign, who's a sort of a urban person.
Yeah.
And they played his own music to him over and over again as a forms of torture. And he was kind of screaming at the sound of his own music, which is an interesting idea for a torture.
She didn't know what it was. She said, "What's this then?" And he went, "Oh, it's my song."
Yeah.
He sounded slightly embarrassed.
But I was thinking, I reckon if they put me and David Baddiel in a room and played Three Lions 400 times, we'd be loving it.
Yeah, you would.
I think come about 350, you'd say, I never noticed that bit before. It's so rich. It's so rich and so deep in goodness. You can find extra things. But he was really struggling. And it just... We were sitting talking in a cafe, in a London cafe, the three of us. And we said, if you got locked, what would be your ultimate torture music?
Yeah.
What did you... We've kept this from each other. What did you guys think?
Well, I've got a couple, actually. Mac the Knife would be quite bad for me.
By anyone?
Oh, the shark. I hate
Scottish version. Just because he's Mac the Knife, I don't need to assume that he's some sort of Scottish hoodlum. And they call him Mac the Knife. No.
I just find it so depressing. And also anything by Dido. Because I just hate...
Oh.
I'm sorry. Am I not allowed to say that on Absolute? But I
don't think we've ever played Dido in all the time.
I don't like the way her songs, they say, she goes, I woke up, had a cup of tea, cried, washed my hair. That's basically the sentiment.
That was an interview with Dido. I used to know Dido a bit. I think she's actually on my phone. I might call her and say, never guess what's happened. Well, anyway. So what would your torture music be, Gareth?
Mine would be remixed to Ignition by R. Kelly. That one that goes remix to Ignition, hiding fresh out the kitchen, rolling. Am I going to do the whole song?
I'm feeling tortured.
Oh,
I don't know
that one.
Yeah.
You said so well. I'm drunk.
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
If I could turn back the hands of time. Look, she's 13 as it is. Don't turn back any further. Yes, for me, I think it would be. And this might shock some. But my ultimate, would drive me to the point where I was thinking about opening the wrists up, would be Imagine by John Lennon.
Really?
Oh, God, that's such a dirge. Imagine there's no countries. Well, that's the World Cup ruin for a start off.
Absolute Radio.
We were just talking about if we were going to be tortured, the music torch like they used on Celebrity Big Brother, what would our torture song be, is what we were talking about.
We just had a text in on 81215 because I chose Mac the Knife as my torture song, and Postman Paul from Belfast says, did you know Mac the Knife is an allegory for the McCarthy communist witch hunts amongst Hollywood artists?
Really?
Yeah.
I just love the fact that people would send in such an intellectual thing.
So do I.
Apparently there was a McCartney witch hunt, which was how he found Heather Mills.
Oh.
Yes. Well, is that true, do we think? That it's...
I don't think so, because I think it was written some years before that. But, nice try,
But
Postman
Mac
Paul.
the Knife, if McCarthy was the guy who was doing all the horribleness, Mac the Knife, I like it.
Sense, yeah.
I appreciate it very much. What we thought, anyway, what we'd ask you, as you mentioned our number, 8, 12, 50, that we would, that would be if they called up to Quasimodo. Oh, by the way, what's the text number for Absolute? 8, 12, 15.
Why would he be reading the text number for
No,
Absolute?
he wouldn't be reading it. It's something I imagine that Quasimodo would know off by heart. What else do you do in a belfry? Other than memorise radio station call-ins. So we'd like to know, if you were going to be tortured in a room by music, what would be your greatest fear? What would be the track that would push you over the edge? That's what we want to know. What else I'd like to know is that thing that Gareth was on about yesterday about how frustrating an anecdote it was this.
He's going to sulk.
Well, it started off well because I came into Waterloo Station and I saw Lee Ryan come out of the tube.
Oh, is that Off of Blue?
Yeah, Off of Blue.
Yeah.
It's a ladies' man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that was quite exciting. And then I went down onto the tube and saw another famous person.
Yes, now this is where the anecdote gets muddy. Go on, carry on. Carry on. Tell us what you delivered yesterday by way of an anecdote.
She's a lady, and I can't remember what her name is or what she does. But I can describe her physical appearance.
See, I love a celebrity spotting story in which you don't know the celebrity. So what we thought we would do, because we went through this, we thought we'd ask our very knowledgeable listeners, if they can rescue this anecdote by finding out who the celebrity is. So if Garrett's going to give us his description...
Physical description.
Right. Well, it'll only be physical. I don't think he could give an emotional...
Oh, I saw.
No, but he could do an impression of her voice if she spoke.
Oh, she didn't say anything. No.
No.
I did see right into her very soul. Though.
Did you really? And you didn't recognise that either?
No.
Okay.
No distinguishing features.
Okay.
It does establish
So
the fact
so
that it wasn't
colour.
Heather Mills then.
Bang.
Sorry.
Hair colour, please. And style.
She had slightly Sharon Osbourne hair, but more spiky kind of almost mangery hair, a bit like Lion-O from the Thundercats.
Oh, okay.
That rings any
What
bell.
colour?
Kind of reddy, dark red.
Oh, hold
like
on.
dyed.
I might ruin the whole thing by getting this.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Don't ruin it, Frank, yet.
Oh, okay.
Should we not ruin it?
Well, no, can I have a guess?
Okay,
Yeah, have a
then.
guess.
Is it that woman? I can't remember her name now.
Oh my goodness.
She used to...
So that text number is 81250.
Now, hold on. She used to work with Kenny Everett.
Cleo Rockos!
Cleo Rockos.
Let's see.
Was that her?
I'll Google it.
Google
Okay.
image Cleo Rockos.
Is everyone just
How
going to
do you
have to
spell it?
listen while we all Google?
Yeah, well, let's talk about something while we Google. I love Googling, don't you?
Well, we've had some texts in for songs that people don't want to listen to. They would consider musical torture.
Okay.
Nick from Watford, Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On.
Oh, no, that's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Oh.
But we're all different. That's fair enough, Nick. I'm not condemning your essential.
We've
Hold on, Cleo Rockos is up.
Roy from London says the national anthem, You'd Never Get to Sit Down.
Right, okay.
It's quite good.
See, I sing the national anthem when it's played.
Do you?
Where was I? I went to a royal film premiere recently, and I was the only person singing the national anthem. Can you believe that? Prince
Yes,
Charles.
that's her!
I've got it.
That's her, yes!
Too loud, it says on my screen. Then you're too close
On
to the
the
mic.
plus
My ears are
side-
bleeding. My ears are bleeding. Help me!
On the plus side, we've worked it out. On the minus side, we've ruined the phone in.
We have ruined the phone in.
Absolute Radio.
We've had lots of texts in about musical torture.
Oh yes.
Yeah. We've had Emma from Orpington, or she's called Emma Orpington. I'm not quite sure which. When I was a kid, when we were naughty, my mum used to lock us in a room and make us listen to Liberace. We would beg her to stop.
Yeah, she'll be from Orpington. That's my guess on the base. That's terrible. In case you don't know Liberace, he's one of the great camp piano players. But he was good, but that would drive you absolutely mental.
Yeah.
I've been to the Liberace Museum in Las
Have
Vegas.
you? What was it like?
It was slightly camp, but there was those like mirror balls you get hanging up at discotheques. Yeah, that's what I've heard. He had a London, like a black cab, done up in mirror balls, and apparently he used to turn when people were arriving. Like lots of middle-aged women used to go to his gigs because they love a homosexual. The middle-aged women, they do, and so not that I don't, but they do in particular. He used to turn up at the airport in this like mirror ball cab, and he used to drive them to their hotels. Liberace, how absolutely fantastic! So at one side of the Atlantic, he's making middle-aged women as happy as they've ever been. On the other side, he's torturing children in Orpington. That was Liberace,
really?
versatile.
Anything. Mandy of Bromley says anything by Kanye West or Chipmunk. They do my head in. Neil from Barking says anything by Lady Gaga would make me confess to shooting JFK. I'm not
Hold
sure.
on. Does that mean that he shot JFK?
I guess so. I'm not sure about the
Maybe we should
anything.
pass that on to Ian Blair, who's a regular correspondent.
He's looking into the Gareth Sulk case.
I think he's got contacts in the Dallas police department, I think, Ian. So he's telling me in the zoo the other night. The zoo is the little area we sit in at Absolute and chat to each other. We don't, so we don't really get on with anyone else at work, so they hate us. Let's face it. Adrian is at the window now making rude gestures, which I find very offensive.
Yeah. It's all a bit one flew over the cuckoo's nest behind that glass.
It is.
What's
It
that
is.
he's smearing on it? I can't make out what that substance is.
Oh, no, that was... If you heard that thumping, that was
Oh,
him
it's time
actually.
for his medication.
Yes. No, it's because I'm actually piping Liberace into that room. When I say I'm piping Liberace, I mean his essential vapour, which I've made from Liberace's corpse.
That's what the thing is he's smearing.
Yeah.
Sheila in Cricklewood says, good morning, my most annoying song is Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You.
Oh, that's lovely.
I don't know if it's the tears or the shaved head, it's just one of my most annoying songs.
Oh, I bet she doesn't like Ross Kemp. Yeah. Well, I'd have thought that was a song of great beauty, and she was very beautiful then as well. Not that I'm saying she isn't now. I haven't seen her for a long time. I like women with shaved heads, generally speaking.
Oh, yeah, that's very you.
No, I do, though. I like that kind of tank girl look.
Oh, why don't you start hanging around prisons, then?
Well, I tried that, but I was cast aside and told to move along. Nothing to see here, said this very thick-necked woman who I didn't much like the look of, tattooed and smoking a small briar. Oh dear. So if the phoning is saying if you were going to be locked in a room and they were going to use music to torture you, what would the music be that you'd be most scared of? That's the thing, isn't it? I think one of mine would be the theme from Cagney and Lacey. I think that's quite.
You don't like it?
I think I might find, if I was locked in a room and I just had to listen to the theme from Cagney and Lacey. I brought up the theme from Cagney and Lacey because I knew that I had that on my list of jingles. It's not there, so I'll change it. It's not so much that. Not so much that. I say Cagney and Lacey. What I meant was the final countdown, I think, was what would really do my head in.
I once wrote a letter to Hunter S. Thompson. I started it, Dear Hunter.
I'm not going to do it now because
stuff you.
No, because you're just leading me on. I won't be manipulated by anyone.
Fine.
Well, actually, my chiropractor, but that's it.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Absolute Radio.
And we're quite excited because Pajama Men are on in a bit. Pajama Men are the extremely funny... I said that like I didn't mean it. No, I just want to say it casually. Extremely funny American double-act guys who everyone's talking about.
Are they going to be wearing pyjamas?
Well, it wouldn't be inappropriate at this hour. I think you'll agree. I think you'll agree. I was just saying, I think you'll agree. Oh, there goes the no repeat guarantee. I've let this company down big time. Now, I don't often read the emails because I've got people to do that for me. This is Frank Skinner on...
You laugh, but he has, actually.
Yeah, well, it is. Well, that's one of the things you do.
That's us.
It is you, yeah.
We're the gimps that have to do that.
I meant it in a nice way. Can you say gimp? That's not swearing, is it, gimp?
No.
Okay.
It's just unpleasant.
It's what?
It's just unpleasant.
It's a bit unpleasant. I have an image of zipped math. Oh God, zipped maths.
Zipped maths. I did that at A level.
Yeah, I was rubbish at zipped maths. I just couldn't open them up.
Read the email, for heaven's sake.
I'm going to read the email, and this says it's from Max Davis, and it says, "Dear Frank, I'm 14 years old. I'm writing in order to thank you so much for introducing me to the Fall. I've been a long-time podcast listener, and after you went on about the Fall for so long, curiosity overcame, and I decided to buy a Fall album.
Oh.
I went to my local music store and purchased the only one they had, Hex Induction Hour. I fell in love with this album, and have since been saving my money in order to obtain more Fall CDs. I now have the first 9 and love them all, and I'm a dedicated follower of Mark E. Smith. Thank you so much for the wonderful gift of the Fall." How beautiful was that?
Wow.
Yes.
I'm speechless.
You don't know what it means to me. That this kid would have been sitting at home listening to, well, I don't know, Razorlight.
Leona Lewis.
Actually, not Razorlight because they're absolute favourites. They're marvellous. So it'd be good if he was listening to Razorlight. He probably doesn't know what a razor is at his age.
Jedward, maybe.
They might be listening to Jedward, but I don't think they've made anything yet. But they might live next door. Of course, no. So yes, but how brilliant! You don't know, because I love the Fall, and I think they could change the world. You know, and they make people more thoughtful and more. They're questioning and more.
You've converted him.
I have converted him. I'm loving it.
Would change the world, and it does make me question things.
Yeah, like how I got this job, for example.
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily and Gareth, and not only that, but the Pajama Men have joined us.
Well, hello.
Hello. And I love that. And yeah, because we don't get many overseas people. We've had one or two, but it's still a novelty thing for us. We had the Gruffalo on, didn't we?
Yeah, it's not the Gruffalo. That was
You
the
call it the
comedian
Gruffalo?
Janine.
Yeah,
Gruffalo. And Frank called her the Gruffalo.
It was just to help me to remember the difficult name. So the Pajama Men are Mark and Shanoa.
That's right.
And I'm going to start by saying I've never met anyone called Shanoa before, so that's quite exciting.
Yeah. Well, I'm a unique named man. You know,
I'm imagining it's some sort of...
I'm a lot different than other people in name.
Yeah. Just in name?
Yeah. I'm pretty run-of-the-mill, but I've got this sort of wild name that sort of lures you in.
Well, you wear it as a badge of honour, though.
Yeah, and it's actually, responsible for most of our success.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I have a friend who was called Emma Williams, and she noticed that one of the lottery winners was called something like George Pound, and she thought that's clearly brought money to him. And I'm not making this. She changed the name by deed poll to Emma Millions.
Oh,
yeah.
Is she wealthy?
Yeah, she's still penniless. But
if George Pound was back home in the States, he would just get fat, probably.
That is true. So, for those listening, and I hate to break this, there will be some who are not familiar with your work.
What?
I know.
Impossible.
Well,
we do theatre. Doesn't everybody know what we do?
Well, we play to a lot of prisons and stuff. People have been in a long time. So, do you think you could give us a brief synopsis of if someone comes to see your show, and we'll plug your show in a second? What should they expect?
Well, we play a lot of characters, and there's not really a plot to our little show.
There's a plot.
Remember, you're selling it now.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of a transparent plot.
On which to hang really great jokes.
Oh, well, there you go. See, now you've won them over.
Fun comedy and bad
and a nice night out.
And a nice night out. Good for a date. Or if you're single and alone, it makes you forget that for at least an hour.
Well, you've covered, I think, all the bases.
Yeah.
What about family? Could you bring children to this show?
No.
Okay, then we'll move
you
on.
could, but then you would hate us.
Yeah, they would learn a few things.
Yeah.
Well, I'm feeling you've already won a few new people over.
Yeah.
So, if anyone wants to come and see the Pajama Men, where should they go and when?
They should go to the Soho Theatre, which
Tonight.
is tonight. And actually, I think we're
probably
sold tonight. But
it's always good to have people turned away.
I might go along.
we'll
get you in.
They'll get me in.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Oh, God, you make me sick. You're not even using the laminate this time. You just turn it off.
We were extended, so we're actually closing tonight, but then we reopen on the 20th of January and run through February 6th at the Soho.
Oh, okay. So tonight's the last night for a little while.
For just a little bit, yeah.
Are you staying in England, or are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're right in.
Right now we are, but
No,
we're going to
haven't
Calgary
agreed
for the next 10 days to do a festival called the High Performance Rodeo. So we're going to get our chaps on and go hang out with cowboys and do some comedy in the frozen tundra.
Will you be one of those? Will you be dressed as clowns and standing in the rodeo?
Yeah,
Probably.
Wearing like a barrel on braces. Oh, I love it when they do that. No, I went to a rodeo. I went to a rodeo in Wyoming, and the clowns came out, and I thought they just rescued the cowboys, but they were doing stand-up. This guy came out and said, I was saying to my wife the other day, and it was like a proper... Meanwhile, there were like large bulls running around behind him.
My favorite thing that they do is they sit at a table and play cards while there's a bull running around, and then they this is a serious thing, and then they try to see who can sit at the table longest before they get scared and run away before the bull charges. It's a fun game. I actually play it at home.
If anyone's tuned in a bit late, that is not the show you'll be seeing at the Soho Theatre. So don't think, oh my God, I'm not risking that.
Absolute Radio.
We are with the Pajama Men.
We've been getting on famously with the Pajama Men. Well, I have.
You get on famously. You get on with everyone famously because all your friends are famous. Am I right?
Yeah, and the Pajama Men are now my friends. So deal with it.
Heighted excited.
I haven't quite broken the ice yet.
No, you're always slower.
Been a bit quiet.
Well, just take your top off.
I forgot you were there.
Yeah.
I'm Gareth.
Oh, hey,
Hiya.
I'm Mark. This is
Mark.
Shanoa.
You see, when you
It's a nice moment.
Yeah.
when you spoke, then they looked quite startled.
Yeah. It's like, where did you come from?
Oh.
Someone kill it! It's speaking!
Stop. It's already been in a sulk today. Don't start him
Oh,
off.
yeah.
So you guys are you're from New Mexico.
Yeah,
right.
the New Mexico.
Do you get back there much, or is that?
Yeah, I'm not going back for a while, but yeah.
You killed somebody there.
Yeah.
Oh
Gotta
yeah, I
stay
heard
away.
about that.
Yeah.
No, I was told. You see, your publicist said don't bring up the murder thing.
Yeah,
And
and
you
now
brought
you're
it
doing it. So
Well,
this
you brought it up. I think now we can talk
Shanoa
about it.
brought- I didn't bring up anything.
Frank, I think you kind of brought it up when you were like, "So, do you get back there much?" Or-
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You brought it
maybe.
up by just
kind of
even having us
insinuating,
on the show. You brought it up.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Don't make him
God.
angry, Frank.
I'm sorry.
Look at the thing in his eye.
What can I talk about from that area that isn't the murder? What about do you do the Albuquerque Balloon Festival?
Oh my goodness!
yeah.
You know of the
Look
balloon
at that.
fiesta.
Some
Yes. Is it that?
Yeah.
Have you been
Fiesta
in one of
because-
those balloons?
I have.
I've
Yeah,
only
yeah.
I've only been in. When I was in elementary school. What do you guys call it here? Primary.
Oh, yeah, that would be
Well, it
primary
depends
school
what it is.
Pajama Men.
Fifth grade.
That's
Anyway,
that's a sort of
Grade
flower.
5.
grade 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's Canadian.
How
Grade
old were you?
5 is I was 10.
Okay, yes, you've been primary school.
I call that
Primary
makeup
school.
age.
Yeah.
That's when you start wearing makeup.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Mark and Chanel.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I was it
pretty
was
spot on.
makeup age.
I think probably wore war paint in New Mexico.
Yes, we do.
So you were makeup age.
I was makeup age, and I got into a balloon that was inflated, but they didn't put it in the air because it was just people could just try out getting in the gondola. And at the time, it seemed exciting, but now I'm just mad. Like,
Yes.
why would you go through all that trouble and not do anything with the balloon?
I went on an elephant ride like that.
Like an
I think
elephant
Albuquerque
sit?
needs to work on its rides.
Yeah.
because
What
it was the
extraordinary
same thing.
lives you
It was
had.
like
You went
sat
on
on the
an
yeah.
elephant ride when the elephant didn't move.
No, it was just, and there was a little sort of corral built onto the elephant, and there were 10 of us little kids in it, and then we just sat on it for a minute and got off again.
And it didn't move.
No,
That was more of an elephant climb.
yeah.
That's
Oh.
but the balloon fiesta, every October the sky just gets full of balloons in the morning. But I don't wake up early enough anymore to even notice because they're usually up by 5 a.m.
You can sort of sense them though.
Yeah, you can.
Can you hear
feel
that
their
occasional,
Oh yeah,
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 Yeah.
you really do.
yeah.
as opposed to the occasional at the festivals you go to? That was an elephant. That was an elephant. Guys.
That was good.
That was an amazing
You say it was.
elephant.
You say
Can
it
you
was
do an
good.
elephant
Shanoa
voice,
looked a bit like a.
Visually, it was arresting. Also.
Yeah, well, I
We should all
try.
just try to do.
that's
good.
better still. I really like that.
That sounds like a balloon going down.
Yeah.
You've combined the two anecdotes into one sound effect.
Anybody else want to try the elephant sound?
Come on, let's.
Gareth?
No, but if I did make one, I'd say afterwards, I beg your pardon.
Oh,
That's what we say over here.
Okay, I'll have one more go.
okay. Now do the sound.
Oh, you two are very, very cutting. That's all
I
right.
felt like you were preparing when you did that noise. Like,
Yeah, clearing your throat.
Oh yeah, that was my.
my elephant noise. And that was it.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry about anyone. If you want to this week's phone in, if you want to text in your elephant. Oh no, that won't work. So you two, what I like about I've been reading all about you guys is that you've known each other for a long, long time. Because often comedians just meet somewhere and say, "Hey, let's be in a double act."
Yeah.
But you were at.
It kind of went the other way around.
Were you in 8th grade together?
Elementary school.
Oh, no, we were in high school, which I think you guys called.
I think Shanoa was in elementary.
Oh, we brought it
Zing!
back. Nice one.
He's back.
Nice. Yeah.
Hold on, I think that needs some sort of. Here we go.
Oh, I can't hear it.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, the Pajama Men are not wearing their headphones, so they're just looking at me, wanting to know why I'm staring at them. But I played a sort of a fanfare to celebrate that pun.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
That was a nice moment you had with yourself.
Thank you. Look, it's my name's on the door. I can do what I damn well like.
Do your big go.
Oh, it's just started snowing outside our window. No, I know this is not big news in Great Britain at the moment, but you know, for us, we've all got a bit. Ooh, the
So
weather
pretty.
outside is frightening. It's all gone a bit like.
I hope the Pajama Men are okay out there in this blizzard.
Oh, to hell with them. I think we've socked them of what we needed, and we cast their dry husks to the street. So
We've had a text in, Frank, on HL15.
why you don't say?
Frank, do you think 17 years old is too old to be grounded? I've thrown a remote at the TV and been grounded for a whole month.
Thrown a remote at the TV.
He's remained anonymous.
Is it Jonathan Ross? You shouldn't watch that Graham Norton show. That's what I say. I think 17 is it's borderline old enough to be grounded. I mean, you're in a position where he could sue.
Just walk out of the house and get a taxi. That's what I do.
But it depends on the nature of the grounding.
Hell, a black cab.
He could be manacled. Besides, not everyone can afford to just stroll out to their house and hail a black cab. Can I say that?
Okay.
Emily was throwing ornaments at servants at that age.
She certainly was. That's absolutely correct. By the way, we had an email which was a bit of a spooky.
Didn't we?
We did. It says, "Hi Frank. Just thought. Sorry, started laughing.
You've had a Roberto de Matteo.
Yeah. Just thought I'd let you know that when you were talking about the FA Cup draw on your show last Saturday, you mentioned Portsmouth could get drawn with Sunderland, which actually happened.
Yes.
Do you have mystic powers, Roger?
Well, I'd love to think that I have mystic powers. I'd love this studio to become a sort of a Mother Shipton's cave, where every week I could emanate futureness. But I don't think I have any.
You are quite Acorian, as in Derek Acora.
Yeah, I've got something of the Acora about me. I'm
Same
often
barber.
knocking around the spirit web. Yes, spirit world, of course, is an off-licence. Yeah, I did do that. I did say Sunderland could play Portsmouth. And I picked the FA Cup draw last week, which if you've never seen it, is two men taking balls out of a sort of plastic bowl hidden under the table.
Was it a velvet bag?
Now, they arrive in a velvet bag, but then Paul Elliott, my co-drawer...
he's ex-Chelsea.
Yes, he emptied the velvet bag into a concealed plastic bowl, and you reach into it. And the reason it's a see-through plastic bowl is then they can then cut to a shot of your hand reaching into the ball, so there's no dodginess.
Oh, did you have a manicure beforehand so your hand looked nice?
I didn't do that, but I tell you what, do you remember last week on the show I didn't feel very well?
Yes, I do remember that.
I felt quite poorly, and I felt poorly into the evening, and the next day I thought, am I going to be able to do the cup draw? I felt proper bilious. Anyway, I turned up at the cup draw, and I still felt rough, and I thought, I'm going to soldier on. After a couple of balls had come out of the thing, I'd taken a couple. I started to feel much better.
Wow.
And I'm starting to think that the plastic bowl with the cup draw balls, it might be some sort of sacred healing well, like Lourdes.
Well, do you think you were carrying around the responsibility of the draw on your shoulders and it was affecting you physically?
Oh, well, that is something I hadn't...
and as you were releasing the pent-up potential powers... There's a lot of alliteration.
There's a lot of P's in that. Yeah.
Are we entering into some supernatural realm?
Well, you are, I think. But you do this time most Saturday mornings. I always. In fact, you rarely come out of it. I only ever see you slip through the curtain. But yes, it was. Honestly, I was healed by the FA. So if any of you are at home feeling terrible, some of you with major illnesses, I suggest you go to the FA and say, look, I've got 3 months to live. Can I do the FA Cup draw? And the whole thing could be turned round.
Well, that's handy for people.
Yes.
Thanks for Frank's top tips there, everyone.
Okay.
A weekly series.
So, look, We've got a bit of an exciting week because we're all off to see Biffy Clyro on Thursday.
Yeah.
We're playing the Houses of Parliament. Can you believe that?
Oh, what am I going to wear?
Well, I'm just thinking, how long do I have to wait into a trap before I can go, order. No, but we are. We've been invited by absolute...
We have to bring our passports for ID.
Do we really?
Yeah, we do. That's got my age in it. Oh, my God.
Well, I imagine yours is an aged document.
You do know you have to get it renewed, Emily, after a certain amount of time passes.
Yeah, well, the cover is actually it's papyrus.
Radio.